Good evening, everyone. My name is Portia Terry. I'm the owner and CEO of Portia Cares Therapeutic Health Services, and I'm coming live today for some updates. So, I was reaching into my archives and I realized that, you know what, the last Mythbusters episode I did was about 2 years ago. Pardonnez-moi. So, of course, some of the things that I've said in that video are now outdated, and I felt now is the best time to come up with some myth busters. So let's just let's revisit what psychotherapy is first and foremost, okay? And then let's talk about it, okay? So psychotherapy is literally talking about what's going on, um, things that are giving your life a little bit of a challenge. So of course, within the last 2 years, whoo, child, everybody and their mama literally and their father literally was heavily impacted by the pandemic, whether it was having to stop school or miss prom or take care of your little siblings while your parents were frantically trying to work. All of us in the world, and I could say this, in the world for the first time ever, I'm not exaggerating, we could definitely agree that 2020 all the way up to date, COVID-19 has really impacted our lives. Not to mention probably some of the things that were going on before the pandemic hit. So, psychotherapy, is it just for psycho people? No, I would like to consider psychotherapy as craziness prevention, and absolutely nobody is exempt from experiencing emotions. So that includes me. Yes, I went to school, I study them, and I work through them, but I have just as much humanity in me as you. The difference is if I'm losing it, I might know a little sooner than you. So let's just hop right into the Q&A of therapy, what it is, why is it different, what do I already know about it, what are some things that I thought I know but I realized I could be wrong. First and foremost, I always want to talk about the difference between a psychiatrist and a psychotherapist. If you watch the movies, and most of us have, and back in the day, people around my age used to watch things called sitcoms. Yes, ask your mama about it, ask your daddy about it. There was this thing called sitcoms. And when it always came to someone laying out on the couch and talking about what's going on in their lives, and a person sitting there, looking somewhat like this and going, tell me more, tell me more. And then what happened? Yes, yes, yes. Okay, that is psychotherapy. But they gave us a title called psychiatrists in Hollywood. And that's not what we do. Psychiatrists are medical doctors who prescribe medication to address mental illness. However, the person you lay down on the couch and talk to, it would be me, the psychotherapist. So, my licensure. To be a licensed psychotherapist, um, you could get a license in psychology, marriage and family therapy, and clinical social work. Now, my heart is with clinical social work. The reason why I like clinical social work, out of the three sciences, is I could provide therapy, but from an understanding of the community. So I like being active in the communities that I represent. I like to take into consideration everything from your hairstyle to your toes, okay? And how that can impact our interaction with the world, the way we see the world, how we perceive and process traumas in our life. Now, a lot of words have been thrown around on campus. I've heard bipolar, I am antisocial, all of these things. And I want you to understand that clinically, it takes a little bit more than a mood swing or feeling angry to have a diagnosis, and what is a diagnosis? So I would like to walk through all those things with you and have you understand how we're available, and everyone who has feelings and emotions can use some psychotherapy when we're having hard times and we need to learn some tools to cope with it, or just to have someone to bounce these ideas off of while we're working through it, right? Some of the common concerns, especially with teens, about seeking mental health treatment. Oh my gosh, they're going to tell my mom and my dad everything about what I'm telling them about, and I'm not going to talk to them, or therapy's stupid, it's for birds. Like, I don't want to talk to anybody. You're just another adult. And I like to bust both of those myths first and foremost. Okay. So, one, even though I'm an adult, I'm not your mama. I'm not your parent. Okay. So, what you tell me stays with me unless you say, Portia, I want to harm myself. Portia, I'm having thoughts of seriously harming someone else. There's an elder over, there's an elder abusing me if you're a teen. Or I am in between age where I'm an elder being abused, or I know there's a child in my care or an elder in my care who's being abused. I do have to report that. And that is when your confidentiality flies out the window. And you can hate me if you want to, but I'd rather you stay alive and out of prison. Now, with that being said, thoughts do not necessarily mean you have to go that far and be committed or anything like that. As a matter of fact, it takes a lot to get that done. That's the worst case scenario. But if you're telling me, oh, you mad at your mom and they get on your nerves, no, I cannot run behind your back and tell your parents. So confidentiality is that way. And typically, the first session, I have the parent come in and say, hey, listen, I want you to understand clearly that I will not be going behind this child's back to tell you gossip. And your child is not to say, well, Portia said I can have my tablet past bedtime or else my mental health will fail. Do not use me as an excuse or a punishment because I will take myself out of the equation. And that's my little aside about confidentiality with teens. But confidentiality in general still cannot break it unless it falls under those categories. Anything else, I would need your written consent to share the nature of our relationship and whatever is relevant for whatever reason that is. So, you've probably seen me in the neighborhood. And this is a perfect example of confidentiality. The most you will get from me is a cholo nod. You don't know who I see or anything else. And I say cholo nod very lightly. I was born and raised in Pomona. You'll see that in the presentation. Like, no offense whatsoever, but you'll get what's up, at the most from me. Okay. Why? Because I want to protect your confidentiality. So if you disclose the nature of our relationship, then that is on you. But I will not be like, hey, client over there. Hey, that's my client. No, that's not how we operate. And that would be a blatant violation of your confidentiality. So as far as your business goes, it is safe. Your personal life, it's kept personal. Okay. What are some of the things that we do in therapy? Well, I like to think that I'm pretty fun in therapy. I like to keep it just a healthy balance of learning, a healthy balance of healing and interaction. So I like to do meditations, like to play games. I like to have that safe space for you. This is a non judgmental environment, meaning that I am not here to condemn you. I'm listening to understand. So it is a safe space. There are lots of us out there. I'll provide some links to resources in your neighborhood if you're not in California, or I'm just one person. So of course I there's enough pain, there's enough suffering to go around, but there's also enough healing to go around. So if I can't get to you, at least consider seeing someone. Um, I'll open this time for questions about therapy, and I would like to go into a meditation with you all. So just get really comfortable, and I'll take some questions, and then we'll wrap up with a lovely meditation by Janae Aiko. All right. So I'll see you soon.